Last time on Bardock Tales Kai, we went over a short recap of Saiyan history leading up to Dragon Ball Super Broly. Frieza scientists had become aware of the Zenkai abilities of the Saiyans, as well as a lesser discussed Ikari ability which allows its user to access the Oozaru powers without physically transforming into one. Bardock then had a vision of the downfall of his family, leading him to send his second born to a distant planet. Today, we rejoin him and his crew who have been sent off on a mission. As Frieza's ship ominously hovers over planet Vegeta, he beckons Zarbon to tell him something. How long will it be before the Saiyans are in the majority on planet Vegeta? Who's positive that it'll take close to only a month? Dodoria chimes in to say that the Saiyans are a majority part of the army his father left him. Canceling their missions to eliminate him will greatly decrease the number of conquests. A fact the Tyrant is well aware of. Addressing Zarbon yet again, he commands him to lead a recruitment session. He wants 200 new soldiers by the end of the week. He's also to mobilize all resting agents of the Ginyu Commando and send them on a mission of conquest. Shortly after these instructions, a young Vegeta enters. Dodoria demands to know who allowed him in here. Though very formal for his young age given his prestige, he merely utters that he's come to address His Majesty Frieza, who, as one could expect, doesn't even bother turning to face him. He coldly questions what Vegeta wants from him. As he begins to meekly utter his concern, he tells how he and his team just finished their mission on the Megmani planet when they received the order to return. However, they're bored on their own planet now. He would like to ask if he'd be willing to let them go back on their mission as an exception. He knows it's against his order, but he saw the Bardock squad had been given a dispensation. He thought he might do them the same favor, retorting that this is quite the bold request out of the prince. Fine, he'll allow it. He and his team can leave for Planet Meat. It's an S-ranked planet, a formality for the prince normally. Bowing and thanking his overlord.
Ah! Here's our young prince again!
Rejoining the Saiyans we spotted Vegeta with in the Broly movie. The one on the right wants to know what he told him. Prompting a sort of smirk, he tells him to get ready. They leave for Planet Meat in an hour. Moments after the Saiyan King's son leaves the room, Frieza makes an abrupt decision about something. Don't send anyone to eliminate his team. On second thought, he's going to keep this little group under his command. Just this one. Little known to the Emperor at the time, he would go out of his way to obliterate the entire Saiyan race, but sparing this one single child would prove to encapsulate the phrase, self-fulfilling prophecy, even if not at the hands of this Saiyan directly. Speaking of which, his lesser queries what to do with the Saiyans who are too far away to return in time, as well as those who have not been sent the return order. Eliminate them too, discreetly. They're useless and there are females in these teams. He doesn't want them to reproduce. If only Frieza knew the potential of half-Saiyans. Dodoria then interjects to mention that they have also, as Vegeta said, sent the Bardock squad on a mission to Kanasa, but his lord doesn't seem to want to keep them under his commands. And indeed, their squad contains a female. He was just about to ask him, and it would be a pleasure to humiliate the Saiyans' most efficient squad, bringing Frieza to congratulate his grunt's deductive mind. He then instructs him to get on with his task, and in a month's time, they'll send their own men to decimate the population of planet Vegeta for resale. Bringing up an interesting point. In the original story, when the thought first arose for him in destroying the Saiyans, why wouldn't he simply plan a ground invasion? His business is decimating and selling planets, so while we know he feared the Super Saiyan legend to some degree, one would have to assume that being so willing to blow up a potential sale means he feared Saiyan potential so much, he wasn't willing to chance provoking and encountering the one who could challenge him. Leaving us with the scene of Bardock's crew heading off to arrive at their destination in 9 days. Coming out of stasis, we fast forward right up to the landing, and the native inhabitants becoming aware of the incoming threat. In one night, the group of Saiyans had wiped out almost the entire population. As a survivor begs and pleads for his life, Bardock snarkily commands Tora to put Grandpa Turtle here on the back burner. Doing so, that was the last of them and their dirty faces. Normally, This would be the point in the Bardock Father of Goku OVA that the defeated Candice would get in a sneak attack and either gift or curse Bardock with the ability to see the future. But speaking of dirty faces, Pumbukin inquires to Teppa where a scouter went, who claims to have lost it in the heat of the moment. Their superiors are gonna yell at him again. When the most powerful, uniquely gifted pink character in the series, who probably also really likes candy, chortles out,
Don't worry, we won't hold it against you.
he won't ever need it again once he's gone to Otherworld anyway. But Dodoria, what's he doing here? Pumbukin trying to get him to elaborate.
Pumbukin!
Chaos and confusion engulfs the gang, wondering what's wrong with them. Bardock already knows what this is the beginning of.
I see you!
As Bardock and Celepa coordinate to attack together.
Now!
Their allies falling one by one. Tora screams to know why he's attacking them. Ooh, unaffected by the blast, snarls that he's so naive, only offering silence and a chuckle as an explanation. Bardock narrows his eyes and dares the minion to say it. Frieza sent him, didn't he? A claim his Saiyan comrades don't want to believe. With this guess, Dodoria figures the jig is up. Once again, he's come too close to the fire. They're aware of his actions on Planet Cereal, and if he hadn't taught them what Elec was up to, he would have been court-martialed already. In any case, his little family was already doomed. He seems to be getting a little too soft around him. Besides, this was just the last straw for a Saiyan like him, as it caused a decrease in efficiency in doing Frieza's bidding. But it also turns out the Saiyans in general are irritating Lord Frieza more and more. So he considers now's the time to put an end to his primitive species.
Bastard! What?
Their squad leader falls to Dodoria. Tora screams out after him. He's going to pay for his betrayal. Easily taking out Bardock's best friend. Looks like there's only one left. Celepa shouts out for this disgusting pig to not come near her. Contacting the base, he informs Zarbon that he's finished the task, who exclaims that's excellent news. Frieza's waiting for him on the ship to begin the attack on planet Vegeta. By the way, did everything go well during his mission? Which prompts a vaguely familiar
Complete annihilation.
with the fall of Bardock and his men. How will this impact the story we know? Is this a surprise twist that removes Bardock from the story earlier than expected? Or is he still alive and planning to inform the others? Meanwhile, Cooler's Armored Squadron makes a surprise appearance as Nice explains they've arrived in the upper atmosphere of planet Vegeta. His leader compliments him on this. He's convinced his brother's army won't be able to defeat the Saiyans. If they manage to rebel and kill him, he will blow up their planet and take back his territory. If, however, Frieza himself decides on his own to exterminate them, then at least he'll see some fireworks. Above all, leave the ship in stealth mode. Obviously, they don't want him to know they're here. Not only does this explain our question about the ground invasion from before, but also why Cooler happened to be in the area during the time of Planet Vegeta's destruction in Dragon Ball Z. Cooler is just as cold-hearted and power-hungry as his brother. Continuing, he mentions how if they were to be discovered, he'd report it to their father and they'd be in serious trouble. Jumping back to Frieza's ship, a voice calls out for him. Kikino. He tells how the reports from the Inquisitors are in, with the exception of Prince Tarbell, who remains unaccounted for. All off-planet Saiyans have been eliminated. They have therefore sent agents Abo and Kaoru to find him. This is a callback to Yo, Son Goku and his friends return, where we meet Vegeta's brother after so many years. Speaking over him, Sarban mentions that Dodoria has completed his mission and is returning to the ship, much to the satisfaction of his master. Frieza rabbles how Lord Beerus wanted him to destroy the planet, but he wouldn't hold it against him if he decided to eliminate the Saiyans and sell it instead. After all, it's the people who are the problem, not the world they reside on. As our insight into Frieza and the lore of Dragon Ball continues to connect itself, what else will we uncover in what is essentially a director's cut of Dragon Ball Super Broly?